So I'm assuming that you guys are now familiar with the online classroom. So you have your textbook with yourself and you will ask any doubt by unmuting your mic. So these are the things that I'm assuming. So please ask me if you have any doubts. Otherwise, I would never be able to understand if you have any doubt or not. So page number 111, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going ahead. I will count now 3, 2, 1, 0 only instead of 5. It will save our 2 seconds. So yeah, page number 112. Any doubts? 3, 2, 1, 0. No doubts, right? Good. Page number 113. Any doubts on page number 113? Characteristics of carbon, why carbon is a versatile element. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So yeah, I think I have taught you this. Any doubt on page number 114? Any doubts on page number 114? No one is speaking anything. I need an answer. It's raining here. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Everyone? Hello? Hello? Okay, it sounds a little strange that no one is responding. So let me pick one particular person. Kajal? Kajal?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so you all unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Don't mute your mic. No one is responding. Then it becomes a little.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you guys can hear me,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So why you were not responding when I was asking you about the doubts? If you have any doubts or not? अच्छा, okay, that is fine. Tell me, कहाँ तक पढ़ाया था मैंने वीडियो में? वो जो ट्यूटोरियल मैंने अपलोड किया था कार्बन कंपाउंड्स का, उसमें कहाँ तक सिखाया था मैंने? तुम लोग देख के आए हो या नहीं देख के आए हो? I need an answer. Kavalle, unmute your mic. Kajal,
Yes, sir.
did you watch the video that I uploaded?
Yes.
Okay, so बताओ मुझे मैंने कहाँ तक सिखाया था वो वीडियो में?
1 minute.
Yeah, please take your time. What about, wait, let me ask to Prachiti, can you hear me? Prachiti?
Yes, sir.
You watched the video that I uploaded on YouTube regarding carbon compounds?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me till where did I teach?
Yes, sir. Page number 114.
Okay.
The D point you have taught.
Okay, so I have to start from hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prachiti, for answering the question. Not everyone is answering for it. So yeah, I will share my screen again and I will teach you next. Okay. So we are talking about hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. If you don't, like if you won't ask, I will never understand it. So yeah, so carbon compounds contain many elements. Okay. The element hydrogen is present to a larger or smaller extent in the majority of carbon compounds. The compounds which contain carbon and hydrogen as the only two elements are called hydrocarbons. So let me explain you this part, only this part, okay? So it is saying that the first thing is, it is asking you like, if you will see properly, it has the definition of hydrocarbons. What is the definition? That carbon compounds, the compounds which contain hydrogen and carbon as the only two elements are called hydrocarbons. It means अगर कोई भी ऐसा compound है जिसमें carbon and hydrogen ही है सिर्फ, only and only carbon and hydrogen, then it is called a hydrocarbons. Now hydrocarbons are the simplest and fundamental organic compound. Okay, Johnny says here. Okay, so let us go ahead. Hydrocarbons are the simplest and fundamental organic compounds. So this can be called as a fill-up, that dash are simplest and fundamental organic compounds. So you have to answer the question, hydrocarbon. The smallest hydrocarbon is CH4, methane. I have already shown you the diagram of methane, right? How the real shape of methane in the video. And it is formed by combination of one carbon atom and four hydrogen atom, which you can obviously see. One carbon that is represented by C and four hydrogen that is represented by H4. Now, we have already seen the structure of methane. Methane means CH4. What is methane? CH4, okay? Now, ethane is one more hydrocarbon. Okay, there is one more hydrocarbon. The first thing to remember is which is the smallest hydrocarbon? It is methane. What is the molecular formula? CH4. It has one carbon and four hydrogen. Okay, guys? इतना तक समझ में आया सबको? Someone please answer. Okay, thank you. Now let us go ahead then. We have already seen the structure of methane. Ethane is one more hydrocarbon. Its molecular formula is C2H6. So you have to remember this formulas and the common name. This is called common name, and this is the molecular formula. C2H6 means there will be two carbons and six hydrogens. Now the first step in writing the line structure, that is a structural formula of hydrocarbon, is to join the carbon atoms in molecule with single bonds, and then yeah, please ask me who was that. Okay, no one. So I will continue. So the first step in writing the line structure, that is structural formula of a hydrocarbon, is to join the carbon atoms in the molecule with single bonds, and then in second step use the hydrogen atoms in the molecular formula so as to fulfill the remaining valency of tetravalent carbon atoms. Now let us understand what the user wants to say, or what does this mean. Let me share my screen again, and yeah. So let's see what does it mean. I will show you with the help of one note. It's not working. You all can see my screen, right? So let's understand what it is saying, what the sentence means. So first of all, let us open the textbook at one part. Yeah, admit. Okay. Now, let me split it. So it is saying that if I have to write the line structure, that is a structural formula of any hydrocarbon. What is hydrocarbon? Any molecule that only has carbon and hydrogen, like we have C2H6 here. Okay. So it says that if I have to write the molecular formula, what are the ways that I will use to write it? Okay. So let's see what are the ways that we will use to probably write the formula. So let's start. See, you have to notice the first sentence which is written here. It is saying that the first step in writing the line structure formula of a hydrocarbon is to join the carbon atoms in the molecules with single bonds. Okay. So let's see what would be our carbon atom. So simple, we will have one C that is represented as carbon atom. We will have another C. This is my C. Now it is saying to join them using single line. Okay. So what I will do? I will use single bond to join these two carbon atoms. If you want to be more precise, I can surround it inside a circle like this, but you have to make a note that this is nothing but carbon atom. So I have connected the carbon atom using single bond as it is written here. The first step in writing the line structure, that is structural formula of hydrocarbon, is to join the carbon atoms in the molecule with single bonds. So I have joined two, since C2H6, right? We are talking about C2H6. C2H6. So it has two carbon atoms. So I made two carbon atoms and I have joined them with single bond. Now what it says is, and then in the second step, use the hydrogen atoms in the molecular formula so as to fulfill the remaining valency of the tetravalent carbon atoms. Now you must be familiar with tetravalent because I have taught this in YouTube video. Tetravalent means it will have four valency. Tetra stands for four, valent means four valency. So it is saying that in second step you will use the hydrogen atom. Here are six hydrogen atoms, right? So I will use those hydrogen atoms to fulfill the remaining valency. Now there will be four valency of carbon. We all know that. And since I can see that one valency is being shared with the carbon atom, I need three each side, right? As I told you, we need three, like carbon will always make three atoms, four bonds. Carbon will always make four bonds. So what I will do, I will attach my hydrogen. I have six hydrogen, right? So I will attach my six hydrogen here. I hope you can see my screen. I have attached three hydrogens to each of them. 1, 2, and 3. So 3 hydrogens here and 3 hydrogens here. That is total of 6 hydrogen atoms I have attached. So the same thing. Now if you will see, now each of the carbon atom is having 4 valency. Okay. Now let's see what is happening. Ethane is now it is trying to explain how to draw the structural formula. So let's see. So ethane is the name of this molecule compound, C2H6. 2 carbon, 6 hydrogen. It is named as ethane. 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen is named as methane. So join the 2 carbons with single bond. That is what I have done. And use the 6 hydrogen atoms in the molecular formula for fulfilling the tetravalency of both the carbon atoms. Tetravalency means 4 valency. And there are 2 carbon atoms. They all need 4 bonds. One bond is already being made, right? This is the one bond which is already being made. It needs three more. It needs 3 more bonds. So what I have done, I saw that I have 6 hydrogen atom and I can apply 3 bond of this. So that is what I have done, and that is what is shown here also. If you will see in this diagram of ethane, 2 carbon atoms and each of them are having 3 hydrogen atoms. So that is how you draw the structural formula. For electron dot structure, it is very simple. If you will notice carefully, each of the hydrogen atom is represented by a circle where each of its electrons are donated in the blue color. And each carbon atom is also donated by a circle, but the electrons are represented with the help of red color. Now, since carbon and carbon are making bond, these two electrons where carbon are sharing their electrons, right, to each other. And here, carbon and hydrogen, these two come together to form a bond, and here this share their electrons. So this is called electron dot structure. To be more precise, this one, hydrogen is having 2 because of carbon is sharing, and carbon is also sharing this. And similarly, this both carbon are sharing one electron to form the bond. That is why there are 2 electrons in the center. So did you understand a structural formula and electron dot structure formula? Anyone have any?
Yes, sir.
No doubts?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, no.
good. So we'll go to next page now. Let us see what is this. So it is saying molecular formula of propane is C3H8. Draw structural formula. So very interesting question. We will try to draw the molecular formula, like the structural formula of C3H8. So let's see what is C3H8. C3H8 means there are 3 carbons, and okay, I'm really sorry, my handwriting is not too good. Okay, yeah. See, 3 carbon and 8 hydrogen, right? Now let's see how it works. So if you will notice, what was the rule? The rule was to attach. Okay, I want someone to speak now. So yeah, Janisa, you are there, right?
Yes,
Okay, Janisa. I just explained the rule. Did you understand the rule?
yes.
Okay, Janisa, then tell me, how should I draw a structural formula of C3H8? You tell me the first step is? Tell me, Janisa, what is the first step? What happened, Janisa? You understood, right?
Yes,
So tell me, what was the first step?
I don't know.
Okay, so you should not have said that you understood. That is completely fine. Kavalya. 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 Okay. Kavalya, can you hear me? Hmm. Swaroop, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank God someone responding. Swaroop, tell me, what was the first rule for drawing the structural formula?
Sir, first we'll take 3 atoms. Means 3 times we will write C,
Very good, very good. So very
and then link to that we will draw H.
C.
Means 8 times we will write H.
Very good. So I have drawn 3 times C. Now what should I do next? Tell me.
Sir, one line we have to take and
Very
draw
good.
H. No?
Not line,
Write
it
H.
is
No?
bond. So this carbon atom and this carbon atom
Okay.
share one single bond. Okay. Now I have 8 hydrogen,
Yes,
and I
and
know
hydrogen will also have single bond.
very good. And I know that each carbon will make 4 bond only, right? Not 3, not 5, but only 4. And this carbon has already made 2.
Yes.
And there are no other elements. So what I will do, I will apply 2 hydrogens here, right?
Yes.
2 hydrogen atoms. Now if you will notice, the center carbon has 4 bonds, but the side carbons do not have 4 bonds.
4 bond.
So how many bonds do they need? 1 is already fulfilled.
So we'll take
They will need 3 or more, right?
Three
three
bonds.
hydrogen we will take there.
Very good. So I will put here 3 hydrogens, right?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, how
Yes.
many hydrogens do I have more? How many more?
Sir, now right
Three.
side we have to draw more 3.
Very good. See, I have used the 3
More
here,
3 on
2
right
here.
side.
Wait, I have used 3 here and I have used 2 here. That is total 5. Total I was having 8,
Yes.
right? It means I have 3 more. So I can simply
Yes.
put 3 more hydrogen atoms here, right?
Yes, sir.
Now if you will see,
Yes.
each of the carbon atom is having 4 bonds. This carbon has 4 bonds. This carbon atom has 4 bonds, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of
Yes,
this
yes.
molecule? The name of this molecule was propene, correct? If you will see the textbook, you will see it here. Can you see it is written here in the use your
Yes.
brain power? Sorry, not propene, it was propane.
Propane.
So C3H8. So you should be very like like you should save it inside your brain. Their common names. So C3H8 molecule has having name propane. Common name. This is the common name, and this is the molecular formula. Did you understand this much?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So we'll go ahead. It is written here that from the structural formula of ethane and propane, it is seen that the valency of all atoms are satisfied by single bonds. It is correct, right? That all the atoms valency are satisfied because hydrogen needed one single bond. It has made it. Carbon needs four. All the three of them have made it. It means single bond is enough for completing their valency. So in this case, these compounds are called saturated compounds. Why? Because when the valencies of all atoms are satisfied by single bond, these compounds are called saturated compound. It is an important point. It can be asked as differentiate between saturated and unsaturated. So you have to make a note of it. So ethane, what was ethane? C2H6. And what was propane? C3H8. So ethane and propane are saturated hydrocarbons. It is correct, right? Because we have drawn the line structure formula of this one is ethane and this one is propane. We have drawn it and we notice that none of them use double bond. Each of them are having single bond. So that is why they will be called saturated hydrocarbons. Now you must know one more thing, important point. It can come as a fill-up, that saturated hydrocarbons are also called alkanes. Did you understand this much? Anyone having any doubt?
No.
No, right? Thank you
No,
so
sir.
Thank you
No,
so
no,
much,
no.
whoever is responding. Thanks a lot. Now let's go ahead. There are two more hydrocarbons that contain two carbon atoms, namely ethene and ethine. Okay. So now we are like reading more versions of ethane, you know. So ethene, if you will see, it has, where ethane has C2H6, ethene only has C2H4, and ethine is having C2H2, C2H2. So let us see the method to draw structural formula, that is line structure of ethene. Now if you will see C2H4, what is there in C2H4? Let us draw and see. Okay. So okay, not a good handwriting, but yeah, 2H4. So what is it saying? What was the rule? To draw two carbon atoms, link them with single bonds. But if you will notice, we have only 4 hydrogens, right? If we split, sorry, if we split it into carbon atoms, each of them will have only 2 hydrogens, right? Am I correct, guys? Because we
Sir.
have only 4 hydrogen atoms. So what I will do, I will simply put 2 on each of the carbon atom, but there is a problem. The problem is the carbon here is not having 4 atoms, 4 valencies. Carbon needs 4 bond. Carbon will always make 4 bond. So in this case, carbon, what it does, do you know? It will make a bond with itself. There will be 2 bonds between the carbon atoms. So this is the surprising thing. Now let us read about it in detail. So the law is the same, that join the 2 carbon atoms with single bond, that is CC, which is done here. Use the 4 hydrogen atoms in the molecular formula for satisfying tetravalency of both the carbon atoms. So I have used 4 hydrogen atoms here, but I saw that still there is the carbon needs to make one more bond. So that is what it is written here, that it appears that one valency of each of the carbon atoms is not satisfied, which is correct. If you will see, this carbon only has 3 bonds. This carbon also only has 3 bonds. But carbon will always, remember that it is universal truth, just like gravitation. Carbon will always make 4 bonds. So what it will do, it will make a double bond with itself. Now to satisfy the tetravalency of 2 carbon atoms by drawing a double bond in place of the single bond between them. So instead of single bond, they will be having double bond. Okay. Now the same is the electron dot structure. If you will notice very carefully, I have 2 hydrogen atoms with each of the carbon. But here the sharing is 2 from each electrons, right? If you go and see this part, if you will notice this diagram, the diagram of ethane, only one electron is shared, right? But if you notice the diagram of ethene, that is C2H4, if you will see, there are 4 electrons in the center that is shared between 2 carbon atoms. So this is how you are now familiar with ethene molecule, right? Ethene, E-T-H-E-N-E, molecular formula is C2H4. Okay. Now, it is saying that the molecular formula of ethyne is C2H2. Very interesting. It is telling us to draw the structural formula. So what we will do, we will do it, we will solve it. Then let's go ahead and solve it. Meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. If today you will, what will happen today, you might leave the meeting or I might leave the meeting. So we will join back, okay? Any one of you, if you leave the meeting, please join back. The class will go a little longer time. Okay, guys?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So we have
Okay.
C2 and H2 here, right? C2 and H2. This was the question that they have given. Use your brain power, right? Then we will use it. They are challenging us. We will use it. It is saying that the molecular formula of ethane. Now notice the difference between the name. When I was having ethane, see, molecular ethane is one more hydrocarbon. Molecular formula is C2H6. So molecular formula of ethane was C2H6. But when they were talking about ethene, where is ethene here, right? Ethene. Namely ethene, and the molecular formula is C2H4 for ethene. Can you see this? And when they came to ethyne, the molecular formula became C2H2. So how to draw the electron dot structure? So what we will do, we will always follow the rule first. First of all, we will draw all carbon atoms. We have linked them with single atoms, like single bonds, and then we will distribute the hydrogen equally. So one hydrogen will be received by this carbon atom, one hydrogen will be received by this carbon atom. But as I can see, this carbon atoms only has 2 bonds, which is not correct. Carbon will never have bonds less than or more than 4. So what will happen? It will make triple bond within itself. 3 bonds. So now carbon is having 4 bonds, right? Right, guys? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So this is the structural formula of ethyne. Be very careful. This is the structural formula of ethyne. And it is asking how many bonds have to be there in between the 2 carbon atoms in ethyne, so to satisfy their tetravalency. Very simple. The answer is how many bonds between 2 carbon atoms? What is the answer in ethyne? Anyone, please say the answer. How many bonds were there between the 2 carbon atoms here in the diagram that I drew?
3.
Very good. Thank you so much, whoever responded. So let's go ahead. Now it is asking the carbon compounds having a double bond or triple bond between 2 carbon atoms are called unsaturated compounds. So what we understood till now is that saturated compound are those compounds where carbon and carbon are attached with each other with single bond. But unsaturated are those where carbon and carbon can have double bond or they are having triple bond. Okay, now let us come back and let us see. Okay, there are 2 messages. Sir, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Okay, let's see. Guys, now switch on your videos, please. Switch on your videos, everyone, please, and unmute your mic. Everyone. I hope you all understood till now whatever I have taught. Did you understand? What is unsaturated compounds? The one where carbon and carbon are linked with double or triple bonds. Okay. What is saturated compounds? Where carbon and carbon atoms are linked with one single bond. Okay. What is methane? Methane is the smallest hydrocarbon. What is the molecular formula? CH4. Right? If you have watched the YouTube videos, उधर मैंने अच्छे से diagrams भी दिखाए हैं. कितने लोगों ने देखा है videos जरा बताना? Harsh, did you watch the video that I have sent in the classroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you see the diagram that I have shown on the Google in the classroom?
Yes.
If you will watch the entire video, you will get a better understanding. Okay, तो वो वीडियो देखना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि मैंने उसमें विजुअलाइज कराया है कि CH4 का शेप कैसा होगा. If I'm not wrong, I have told that it is having tetrahedral shape, right?
Yes.
Anyone having any doubts till now, please see your textbook, look into your textbook and tell me if you have any doubts or not. Kajal, you also. And you guys are so cozily, comfortably lying on some chair. You should not study like that. You have to sit, otherwise you won't be able to pay the attention. Focus karna padega. If you want to pay focus, you will forget everything. And make a short note whatever I am saying or highlight it in the textbook.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chris and Ken and Kajal. Okay, Kajal, Lean, Swaroop, Kavalya, Vishwas. Okay, Vishwas, I think he joined today, right? Vishwas, can you hear me? Okay, Vishwas, switch on your webcam, please, like video. Okay, Vishwas, you joined today, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you want the link to my, like, I have already completed chapter 2. Am I correct, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
I have completed chapter 2, right? So Ryan,
Yes.
you do one thing, you help Vishwas a little bit, okay? With the concepts
Okay.
and all, and forward him the links that he wants. And if he has any doubt, let him ask you. And if you are not able to solve, please ask me.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Johnny sir, you are so quiet today. And you joined late.
Yes.
Why?
So there was a network problem.
Okay, no issues. अभी क्या होगा मालूम है? In 3 minutes, you all will get disconnected probably, or I will get disconnected probably.
Yes.
So I will have to join. So if you get disconnected, you have to join back. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Today's class will be a little long, and I will do one thing. I will give a 5 minutes break. We will get disconnected at 2:40.
Okay.
2:40. We will get disconnected at 2:40. I want you all back here at 2:55. 15 minutes का break दिया.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Have some
Okay,
water.
sir. Thank you.
Have some water.
Thank
Have
you.
some water. अरे भाई,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Have some water. Okay. Make some notes. If you are not having a textbook, bring it. See the things that I have taught, and see if you have understood. अगर समझे तो best. If you have not understood anything, when you will join at 2:55, you can ask me the doubts. We will continue the class at 2:55. So don't be late. I will open and I will start teaching. Okay?
Okay.
And if you have
Yes,
any
sir.
doubt from the
Okay,
YouTube
okay.
video also, if you have any doubt from the YouTube video also, you can ask me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
I will
sir.
leave you at 2:40 को मैं मीटिंग खत्म करूंगा. 15 मिनट का ब्रेक है. 2:55 में आ जाना, ठीक है?
हाँ.
Bye everyone. Please notebook, textbook अपने साथ रखो and ask me if you have any doubts. That's all I will say. Bye. We will meet at 2:55. Remember, you have 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Utilize it. Don't go to play somewhere else and then come back after.
No, no.
Okay.
No, no. No.
Bye, sir.